When comedian Andy Kaufman arrived from Hollywood, the wrestling world was forever changed.
Bow down to me, and if I pass you by, kiss my feet.
Let me tell you something, just shut up. Why don't you just don't allow
In comedy clubs and on TV shows like Merv Griffin, Mike Douglas, and these kind of shows, he was billing himself as the Intergender Wrestling Champion. He had a teeth shirt and everything, and that was
Had a belt.
Yeah, he had all of this stuff, and he would go on these shows and offer $1,000 to any woman that could come up out of the audience and beat him in a wrestling match.
And no plans. It was legit.
It was all legit, yeah. That was how he got the audience involved and made the match really mean something. He went out first of all, he would cut his promo.
It takes a certain way of thinking, a certain strategy. Women, I do not think, possess this. I just don't think they do.
You know, he would say, all of you women, you need to be scrubbing the dishes and diapering the babies and that sort of stuff.
And there are times when women have more of this mental energy than men. For instance, in the kitchen. Scrubbing the potatoes, washing the carrots, scrubbing the floors, raising...
Andy Kaufman calls Jerry Jarrett on the phone, just pitches the whole idea to him.
I'm skeptical that it's Andy Kaufman. I said,
here's Jerry Lawler's number. And you call him and work it out with him.
so I put it on his plate.
So Andy calls you.
So Andy calls me, and all Andy wanted to do was just come down and fulfill a lifelong dream of wrestling in front of wrestling fans. And all Jerry and I are thinking about is how can we make money off of this guy?
Yeah, no, I'm with
and
you.
So here's a big Hollywood TV. I mean, Taxi was the #1 rated show in the country at that time. One of the stars of the show wants to come to Memphis and be at our show at the Coliseum. Come on down. And so I talked with him, and I tried to give him the big build-up of how we really need to make this thing huge.
A storyline.
A storyline. And so he started sending in some interviews, Knock the South, Knock Women. We started playing them on Saturday mornings.
You don't have any brains. You're from Memphis, Tennessee. All you do is plow the fields and farm and the farm and the...
No, Memphis, Tennessee, you do. And that drove them nuts. Dream Machine, remember him? He come up to me and he said, "You shouldn't say that like that on TV." I hate him. I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah. You better not say that around me."
I am a national television star, and I want the respect that I deserve when I come down to Memphis. And I don't.
We got a ton of publicity out of it.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
without a doubt.
Just the big Hollywood star coming to town. What did the scene look like at the Coliseum the first time you walked out?
Well, it was pandemonium. Sold out the first night.
Okay, now just be quiet.
People just hated him so much they just wanted to come and see, hopefully, any woman to just, you know, give him his comeuppance.
I will pay $1,000 to any woman that will beat me in this ring.
Just every woman is out there waving their arms and everything, and he'd go, you.
Legit.
Legit, yeah. And so these
That's
women...
balls alone.
So these women came down. Now, all of a sudden, they're going to get in a ring in front of 10,000 fans, right? He was a great heel, just a natural heel, you know.
And knew a little
strutting around.
wrestling.
Yeah, well, he knew, he told me, he said, I know enough to not let him get me on my back. And he said, because then, you know, the only way they're going to pin me. He wrestled all of these 5 women. Andy's declared the winner, right? And in Andy's mind, that's really all he came to do was wrestle that one time. And Jerry and I said, we got to work a return some kind of way. And Jerry and I's mindset back in that day was all about putting butts in the seats at the Mid-South Coliseum or Louisville Gardens.
It's only revenue stream.
Yeah, that was it. I mean, that was our main focus. All we did was go in and say, Andy, this was great. It was awesome. And we told him, we need to work a return. You need to come back and do this again next week. I mean, his eyes lit up. He said, really? I could come back and do it again? You know, Andy was kind of a weird duck, but not anything like, you know, backstage, you know, he was shy and he's humble. I mean, Andy was same age as me and Dutch. Never called me anything but Mr. Lawler. Never called me Jerry, just always Mr. Lawler. And I tell him many times, look, Mr. Lawler's my dad. I'm Jerry. I'm sorry, Mr. Lawler, I can't do it. So, but he just loved the business, respected it so much. And so we brought him back the second week. He picked out 5 women again. Andy had pretty much manhandled the first 4, and except for finally they ring the bell and in goes a young lady named Foxy. Andy came towards her, and you couldn't have scripted this any better. Foxy grabs Andy, she body slammed him.
Oh my God.
The roof of the Coliseum came off. And he starts crawling to try to get out of the ring. He grabs the bottom rope and she's pulling his pants off. His pants are coming off, trying to get him back in the ring. And she gave him the match of his life, and the people were going crazy. And finally, I think, because she just got tired, lost all her energy, and Andy was able to finally pin her, but it was just great. So when he got to the back, I said, oh my gosh, Andy, here, we got it. I'm thinking.
I was gonna say, you immediately thinking,
another return.
they're thinking return, right?
Right, another return. And I said, here's what we got to do, Andy. I said, I'll go out on TV. I'll get this Foxy, I'll bring her on TV, and I'll tell the people that she did so well against this jerk Andy Kaufman that just a few pointers here and there, and me in her corner, she'll be able to beat Andy Kaufman.
Andy's loving this, right?
Loving it.
Oh,
And this is where Andy went on TV then and said, here's what I'm gonna do. If Foxy can beat me, not only will I give her $5,000.
As an extra prize, she will get to marry me.
And
That's classic.
It was a classic, and he just came up with that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Well, that happened on Saturday morning. You know, every Saturday morning, our Saturday morning TV show, of course, was a 90-minute commercial for what was going to happen Monday night.
Hey, by golly, we got a dandy of a program lined up for you today, and I think so.
I'll never forget, me and Foxy went out on TV live that morning, and she looked at me and said, I wouldn't marry Andy Kaufman if he was the last man on earth. I honestly believe that now that she knew what she was going to do, that she was, she was prepared for this, I thought she would beat him.
Night she was going to wrestle Kaufman, she said, Dutch, what do you think I should do? And I'd say, well, I'd try to get him early and just do your best, because I'm counting on you. And she went in there and she took him down. The crowd was going nuts. And she blew up, and Andy abused the out of her.
He beat her in that match, and then he just started slapping her, turned her over, rubbing her face in the mat, and me standing in the corner. There's 10,000 fans going, Jerry, there's your girl. You gave her the pointers. What are you gonna do? And so, I went in the ring and I literally just kind of pulled him off. I mean, nothing vicious or hard or anything, because in my mind, he is a big Hollywood star.
Yeah.
35 seconds.
All of a sudden, his eyes just like, you can't put your hands on me. You're a professional wrestler. You can't touch me. I'm a star. I'm from Hollywood.
I will sue you. You don't touch me. I am from Hollywood. I'll get Hollywood against you, baby.
I had no clue what was going on. This is all Andy. He threatened to sue everybody that was in the crowd that night.
I think he said, leave your name at the door, and I'll sue you later.
Yeah, and so he goes back to his own dressing room. I come back into my dressing room, and Jerry's there. And then all of a sudden, Andy comes in and goes, how was that? Yeah. And I said, it was great. It was great, but we got to keep going now. And that's when he and I actually sat down and started talking about having a match.